Good morning, guys. It is Monday again, and just getting my stuff together this morning to head out the door to start this week. I'm not feeling very good today. We had Popeyes for dinner last night, and I think that was just too much. I don't know. I've been trying to eat a little healthier and everything, and we had fried chicken, and I don't know if it was the fried thing or what, but I'm not feeling that great today. Feeling kind of indigestion or something, so hopefully that'll go away soon. I'm sure coffee won't be the best thing either from the acid in coffee, but I have to have my coffee. Can't live without my coffee. And so just waiting for the coffee pot, and I'm gonna grab a salad for lunch, get my stuff all packed up, and head out the door. But I'll talk to you again soon. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, and I feel much better this morning than I did yesterday morning. And so now I'm just waiting for the coffee pot to finish up and get ready to head out the door. And yeah, that's it. I cannot think of anything else. It's early. My brain is still not completely awake, but I will talk to you again soon. Packing my lunch. Got my little owl ice deal. And this is my salad for today. Spinach Dijon. And then put another ice on top. Good morning. It is Wednesday, and you probably can hear the coffee pot finishing up. Just packed my lunch, getting ready to head out the door. Can't think of anything else to talk about. The only thing that's pretty much on my mind constantly is my son, who's in the Air Force, who's in the survival training right now, and it gives me a lot of anxiety. But hopefully everything's going good, and I will talk to you guys soon. Okay, so now I'm in my car on my way to work, and I felt like I needed to expand a little bit on what I said about my anxiety over my son. It's not that I don't think Daniel is going to do exceedingly well in SERE, because everything he has done the whole time he's been in the Air Force, he's done well at. Even if he's not feeling so sure of himself, you know, he still does well. He studies, he does what he needs to do, and he gets it done. My anxiety, because quite frankly, he was excited about this. I'm just thinking about, you know, this is my son, and I'm thinking about, I'm excited for him too, he did the water survival training, and you know, that's fun and exciting, and they learn things. They do wilderness training, and you know, they learn a lot, all that stuff, everything, all the tools, tips, the whole thing that they learn, the whole reason that they're doing this. I'm excited for him to learn. I'm happy for him to know, you know. Some of that stuff I would like to know, you know. I don't think I'm ever going to be in a situation where I might need to use everything he's learning, maybe some of the things. The part that gives me anxiety is he's going to learn all this stuff, and then he's going to be put into a situation where he's going to be like a prisoner of war. You know, they're going to capture him and try to get him to give up information, and just from what I've read online, some of the things that people have been through. I mean, there's also some myths that they'll talk about online that people have heard that are not true. I think I might have mentioned before, there is a myth that they're allowed to break a bone, and that is not true. It doesn't even make sense. I mean, why would they want to put somebody in training and while they're there break a bone? You know, that doesn't even make sense, because when you're done with the training, you're working a job, you know, so why would you want to put somebody to where they can't work or whatever? But from what I understand, they can hit them. They can make them like strip down naked. They can starve them. They can hit them. You know, you can spray them down with water. I don't remember if I said that. You know, it's just, that's the part that makes me anxious, is even thinking about my son going through that stuff. And I know he's in a controlled environment. He's still going to be safe and all of that. You know, he's not a real prisoner of war. And I hope he never is. I hope he never has to put these skills to the test after what he's doing now. And thousands of airmen and other branches of the military have been through this before. So, and then even people that he knows who have been through it have told him things like, you're not going to like it while it's happening, but then when it's done, you'll be glad that you had the experience, and you know, that kind of thing. So I had kind of thought about how those of us that have had babies, you know how people always tell us, oh, it's going to hurt like hell, but it's all worth it kind of thing. Not that what he's going through is like having a baby, but I just kind of think about that, you know, and it kind of cracks me up because Daniel was a 9-pound baby and I had no medication with him at all because he came so fast. It was, my water hadn't broke. I was like in labor for a long time, and I was just thinking about, well, maybe I'll go ahead and do the epidural or whatever, because, you know, I was in a lot of pain. And so the doctor was like, well, we'll think about that. Let's go ahead and break your water. As soon as they broke my water, man, I felt him. I was like, oh no, it's time. And they were like, oh, you got a little ways to go. And they checked, oh, you're right. And then here comes everybody in the room and the doctor and all that stuff. And he was ready. But that stuff hurt. It hurt. It was embarrassing when it was all over because I was screaming. And I had the nurse. There was like this nurse on the side, that each side actually, and they were like kind of holding my legs back. And I had her up against the rail of the bed. I was like squeezing her. And then, you know, after he was born and everything, and then I was looking back on it when everything was all over, you know, just a few minutes later, and I was like looking at the nurse. I'm like, I'm really sorry. And she's like, yeah, you had me up against the bed. It's all right. But it's true. It was like after all that was done and I had my baby in my arms, it's like I would have done it all over again. And granted, I didn't have any more kids, but it wasn't because of that. It was just because that's what I wanted, was my 2. But so it's just kind of funny because, you know, like I said, he was a 9-pound baby, so that was no easy feat. 9-pounder with no medication. But anyway, that's my anxiety is just the mom in me, and I know, you know, anybody that cares about him, like his girlfriend, you know, we're just thinking, we just want him to get through this, and I know he will. And like I said, he was excited about it. So, and he didn't seem anxious or anything. I mean, he might get more anxious closer to, and I don't even know when that part's going to happen or anything. It's like I don't know. So anyway, I just wanted to elaborate on that a little bit. Keep on driving to work, hope for a good day. It's Wednesday, so those are the nights my husband goes and plays pool. And I've been on Wednesdays, some Wednesdays, like looking on Netflix, or I noticed the other day Amazon Prime actually has bumped up their scary movie game with their offerings. And so, which I was watching this past Saturday. I made myself a little horror marathon, was just watching several things. So I might try to find some, and what I might do is, there was a movie I watched called Hell House LLC, and I really liked it, and I think I might watch that again. I just watched it Saturday, but I might watch it again, because you know how some movies, when you, the ending kind of, then you're like, oh, that's what was going on kind of thing. I like to watch those again because then I watch, you know, and for all the clues that could maybe alert you to what's happening or whatever. So I might watch that one again. I kind of would like to watch that one again. We'll just see. See how my day goes, how I feel when I get home, all that. But anyway, that's it for now, and I'll talk to you again soon. I decided not to re-watch that movie tonight. Instead, I'm going to watch another documentary. This one is A Haunting on Hamilton Street.
It's one of the few areas that remain that really do have.
Good morning. Today is Thursday, and say it with me. It's the last day I have to drive down to the building for the week because I work from home on Fridays. I feel like I say that every Thursday, probably because I do. So now, my normal morning stuff, and I also got to wash my glasses because I see like a line on them. But you know those little glasses wipes, the little wet ones? I love those things. They work really good. My son Daniel, he likes to just plain out use like soap and water. That's his favorite way to clean his glasses. And that works really well, but then your glasses are wet and you got to worry about drying them off. So probably what I should do is just start washing them really good like that at night and then just setting them aside. But anyway, because I have so many different pair, and I keep telling myself before I put them away, I'll clean them really good. And then when I put them on the next time, they won't need to be cleaned. But then I don't do that. So I don't know. I don't know why I just went down that glasses road. But anyway, I'm going to make my coffee, grab my lunch, head out the door, start this day so I can get it over with. And I'll talk to you again soon. Hello there. It is Saturday morning, 10:30, and I did not vlog yesterday. On Friday, I worked from home like I normally do, and then I got off work at 2, and my husband and I went to Oceans of Fun. And I normally don't take my phone in there. I did the last time we went. I have one of those things that you can put your phone in and it won't get wet, but I still didn't feel comfortable having my phone with me. I just did one little pan of one of the pool areas so I could kind of just show it to you, but then like yesterday I didn't take my phone again. So I just really don't want to jack with it when I'm at the pool. So that was really fun. We stayed out there till 7 is what time they close, except for starting today they stay open till 8. And so that was nice. I really like going on Fridays because it makes it feel like it's Saturday. So then like when we got home and I took a shower and I was sitting there thinking it's Saturday, it was really Friday. So that was really cool. But anyway, now I am on my way to my best friend Charlotte's house, and we're gonna do one of our marathon girl days where we go have lunch and then we go shop. Usually go to Starbucks, get a coffee, go back to her house, sit, talk. It's supposed to be really super hot today, so I'm wearing white, and then I have on shorts, and they're black with white polka dots, and comfortable shoes. I don't know where we'll go shop. It just depends. I drive all the way out to her house. She's like 40 minutes away, and then she drives from there, and so she knows the area. It's actually up closer to where I work. She lives closer to where I work. That's actually where we met years and years ago. Like, I want to say 1990 was when we met. So it's because she used to work where I work. But I don't know, I feel really distracted today. I talked to Daniel, actually we texted back and forth, and he's doing really good. Today he's gonna be in the forest, and then at some point after that is going to be like the POW simulation, and so he's like in the forest from today through Thursday, and I don't know exactly what all. I know that there'll be more learning opportunities and everything, and he won't be able to tell us all the details and everything, but so I'm kind of distracted. I'm glad I'm going to spend time with Charlotte, because if I'm sitting at home or maybe even just by myself, I'm just not going to be able to keep my mind off of that. And Daniel, he's like, I'm just ready to get it done with. And they did like part of his training was that he's already been through was combatives, and he thought that was a lot of fun. And he's like, I just gave it my all, and he was really sore, he said, but he really enjoyed it. So we'll see. I'll be glad when it's over too. It's just this mom in me. I told him that too. I'm like, are you nervous? And he's like, no, I'm just kind of ready to get it over with. And I says, well, I think I'm probably nervous enough for the both of us, just the mom in me. And he said, don't worry, Mom, only like 20 people a year die. Joking. Little butthead. But my husband and my oldest, I don't know what they're going to do today. They were watching soccer. My oldest, he's really into soccer. He likes watching soccer. He knows all about it and everything. And so he was kind of talking to my husband about that, and they were looking at Kansas City has a soccer team called Sporting KC, and they were looking, as when I was leaving, they were looking at like upcoming games and seats and everything. So I don't know if they were talking about going to well, it's not going to be today. I don't think they play today, but I think they were talking about going to an upcoming game. And my husband, I think, might go play 9 holes of golf. They talked about doing that earlier in the day. It's just, like I said, it's supposed to get really hot today. And then the two of them might barbecue or do something together. I don't know. I hope they do. Usually my oldest just hangs out in the bedroom all the time. And so I really just like it. Like the other night was really great because we all watched a movie together. We used to do a lot of family stuff together. We used to have family game night, stuff like that. But then as the kids have gotten older, we didn't do that stuff as much. And then now with Daniel not being home, we still go out to eat or go to the movies or do things like that. But I miss just playing Uno together or just stuff like that. But we Redboxed that movie, what was it called? Game Night. That was good. That was a really good movie. And we all watched that together and got a lot of laughs and everything. It was really fun. So I hope they do something together today. And then tomorrow we might go to Oceans of Fun again, my husband and I. The oldest, he doesn't like to go to the pool, so he doesn't go. My husband and I actually have season tickets, so we go at least one day a weekend the whole season that Oceans of Fun is open. We've done that for the last few years, at least 3 or 4, might be even longer than that. And we do Worlds of Fun. The way that it works is the parks, you get both parks. So when you buy a ticket, you get access to both parks. Whether you go to both sides or not is up to you. And then, of course, you guys all know, the ones that have been with me for a while, how much I love Halloween Haunt out there. Because Halloween is my all-time favorite holiday. Which makes sense since I love everything scary. My birthday is 10 days before Halloween. I probably should have been born on Halloween. But I just love that out there. Well, last year they also started that Winterfest, so they're open even longer, and then that was so cool, and it was like all the Christmas lights, and it was just gorgeous out there. So I feel like the season ticket is like $100, and it is so worth it. And then we also will buy, you can buy these plastic cups. It's expensive. It seems expensive at first, but we've figured out how much we would actually spend if we didn't get the cups. we buy these ones that it's unlimited refills the whole season. So if you're thinking like, because the parks open in May, so May all the way through the end of December, you get all the refills. It's like $30. It's totally worth it. And because on Oceans of Fun we always get at least 2 refills, and I like it because I stopped drinking, I call it pop, you might call it soda, depends on what, some people call it soda pop, some people call it Coke, some people call it tonic, it just depends what area of the country you're in, but I call it pop. And so I stopped drinking pop, except for like when we go to the movie theater, I'll usually get pop, but they have tea, so I'll get tea. I don't know where I was headed with that. Well, today is also the 9-year anniversary of my first heart attack, so that was a thing. Those that have followed me for a while know that whole issue. In case you don't know, I have it's more of a blood vessel issue, because it's not like a high cholesterol or any of that kind of thing. It is a vascular issue, where the first time it ever happened to me was actually at Daniel's baseball game. Both of the boys would play baseball, and it was one of those where they both had a game at the same time, but it was at the same park. So my husband was at Adam's game, I was at Daniel's, and then we would flip. And anyway, on the way home from that or actually on the way walking to the van after Daniel's game was when I started having the heart attack. And I didn't know at the time what it was. I suspected because it was all the classic symptoms, and Daniel was with me, had the minivan at the time, and I just remember I couldn't even wear my seatbelt. My chest was hurting so bad. I unhooked my bra and everything. It's like it just hurt so bad. Long story short, it was a heart attack, and what had caused it was the coronary artery spasmed, and the cardiologist says it's like a garden hose that has water running through it, when you fold it and you kink it, and it stops the flow of water. Well, it stopped the flow of blood, and it caused a heart attack. Luckily, my husband took me to the hospital. We have a hospital really close, and they don't have a cardiology unit, but they were able to start giving me medicine and hooked me up and could tell that's what it was. I was 38 at the time, which is still, I can't believe how young that was. It was just crazy. It was a very crazy experience. I was in the hospital for a while. Now I take medications that help keep the blood vessels open. I still did end up having another heart attack was it 4 years later, 5 years later? I don't remember. I have it written down. But I did have another one, but it wasn't as severe. And so now I go to the cardiologist routinely, and about every 6 months, and he checks everything out, does a EKG every time, and then like a ultrasound annually, and checks everything out. And it's just one of those things that his words were, I have a propensity, so I might have another one. The likelihood is high. It's really scary. I don't want to have another one. And, it is what it is. It's one of those things that no matter how skinny I get or how much exercise I do, none of that can prevent it, because it's not related to that stuff. But I can strengthen my heart, and then so if I do have another one, then if my heart is strong, then I can hopefully survive it. And that's what with the second one wasn't as severe. As a matter of fact, by the time I got to the hospital, it had stopped. It's like that medicine that I take that opens the blood vessels didn't allow the artery to stay closed or whatever. And So I didn't sustain much damage from that one. And the way they tell for sure, well, the first one, I was hooked up to machines and they can see, I guess from the heart rhythm and everything, that you're having a heart attack. But the second one, since it was over, and probably if I wouldn't have had one once before and knew what it was, they probably wouldn't even have run the test they did, but your body releases enzymes. It's like basically when the heart parts of the heart muscle die, it releases this enzyme into your bloodstream. And so they look for that, and it was there, so that's how they knew that the second time it was a heart attack. And so then as long as those enzyme levels are going up, they make you stay in the hospital until they level off and start going down. But so yeah, I didn't really mean to get into all of that, but basically I just live my life. If it happens, it happens. There's nothing I can do to prevent it. Well, there really is, this medicine. I mean, it's not going to prevent it, but I think it does lessen the severity or whatever. But hopefully I won't have another one. I do try to keep my stress levels down. That is why I try to really be a stickler for, because the first time I ever had one, when I was 38, I was under a lot of stress at that point. A lot. At work, we were going through an audit. I won't say the state, but the auditor from the state was a dick. He was a jerk. He just, I don't know. I still remember that guy's name. I still want him to get hit by a bus to this day. It's just, I don't know. I will never visit that state because of him. But I don't know. You know, I know it just was the high stress, and I think that's what did it. The second one, I was not under a particularly large amount of stress, so it was a Saturday morning. I was actually walking down the hall with a cup of coffee to sit in bed watching TV with my husband, and that's when it started. It's just weird. But so I'm a stickler for a 40-hour work week, and my boss, they're great. They know, they're not the same bosses I had whenever I've had the first or the second one. They're different bosses, but kind of just let them know ahead of time, you know, up front. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do a damn good job of it. I'm going to work to the best of my ability, but I'm not going to work a ton of hours, you know. And I don't say it like that. I just tell them, you know, I have this heart issue, and my cardiologist wants me to work 40-hour work weeks. And, you know, they get it. I don't have to come out and say, I'm not going to work over 40 hours. I'm not going to do this. You know, I don't do that. Luckily, I've never had a boss be a jerk to where I've had to pull out the thing from the cardiologist or anything like that. So like when I miss my lunches during the week or whatever, I'll leave early on Fridays. And I've told my manager, she's perfectly fine with that. And so like if there's a meeting that's through my lunch or whatever, or you know, because sometimes she'll say, can you go to this meeting because I have a conflict, and I'll say, oh, that's during my lunch, but I'll just make an adjustment. And she at first she was like, no, I want you to make sure you go on your lunch. And I was like, no, I'll just leave early on Fridays. I don't mind that. If I miss a lunch, that's fine. That's just the earlier I can leave on Friday, because Fridays a lot of times there's not a lot of meetings or anything. And so she's more on the line of just make sure that you leave early on Friday. So that is really great. And then if I do start feeling like I'm stressing, I'll go take a walk. You know, I have techniques that I try to do. You can never prevent all stress. When Daniel was in BMT, in basic military training, I was so stressed that whole time. It felt like I was mourning him. You know, I'd go lay in his bed and cry. I got so stressed out, and I think I was just so sad. That was hard. Every time now, I'm on Facebook, there's like a Air Force mom support group, and when you see the moms that's kids just start BMT, I just feel for them, because it's hard. And, you know, they'll be like, is it normal? I'm crying every day. And so I try to comment and tell them it's normal. And it's kind of funny, because sometimes you see moms that it's like, it's only 8 weeks, and it's like, I don't get you. But then I'm so lucky because Daniel is stationed only 5.5 hours away from home. And because of the nature of his job, he'll go on deployments, but they'll be more short term. And I'll see these moms that's kids will go, all the way across the country or into the Middle East, and they don't see them for like 3 years. So I am so fortunate that Daniel is stationed where he is. And from what I understand, that's likely to be where he'll be stationed the whole time, as long as he's in this same job. So I'm just really, really lucky there. How did I go from, I don't know, at least this time driving here, last time I was sitting and talking to you guys, and I totally missed my exit because I was like driving to work. But this time I didn't miss my exit. I'm going the right way and everything. So, and I don't normally vlog when she and I are together because she's not into like the whole YouTube thing and stuff. I don't even think she gets on YouTube. It's so funny because she and I have a ton in common, but we also have a lot not in common. But we still get along really super good because like she doesn't even watch TV. If she gets the news from like the newspaper. I can't tell you the last time I read the newspaper. I get on news sites, and read news on the sites, but I don't get the paper. And she's not into like all the scary stuff like I am. And like she doesn't go to the pool, things like that. There's things like that we don't have in common, and our political views are not exactly the same. We have a lot of the same views, but we also have a lot that are not the same. But we don't let politics, your political views do not define you as a human being. And the same goes for a lot of different kinds of views that people have or whatever. That's not you. It's just different things. I mean, to me, unless you're like a raging racist or something, I could not be friends with somebody that was a racist. I could not be friends with somebody that was like a homophobe, or somebody that talked bad about people like that. But she's not like that. She's a really good person. And so if we don't agree like on who we're going to vote for president, just say for example, that's not going to mean I don't want to be her friend. It just means we have different views. It doesn't make me bad or her bad or anything like that. So, or like religion, I'd be fine with somebody that just because I believe in God, I don't think that you should have to. Stuff like that. I think you get what I mean. But for most things, we have the same sense of humor and stuff like that. So, and like I said, we've just known each other for a really long time. I wish we lived closer because it would just be really great just to go grocery shopping together, just do normal, But she knows that if she needs me, I'll be there. If I need her, she'll be here. It's just that kind of thing. We don't have to see each other every single day to maintain a strong friendship. But my husband and I have been talking about getting kayaks. See, here I go to the next subject. I really, 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 really want to get kayaks. We've been looking at them. We like to be on the water. Usually it's just when we go to the Ozarks, our annual vacation. When I first met him, his family owned a boat, and we used to go out on the boat a lot. We don't really want to own a boat. There are a lot of maintenance. There's a saying that is like the happiest days of a boat owner's lives are the day they bought the boat and the day they sold the boat. So, there's just a lot of maintenance that goes into them. And like where we live, you can't keep it on the water all year round. You have to like dry dock them and winterize them and all this kind of stuff. And so we've like at Oceans of Fun they have kayaks, and we'll kayak there. We're gonna rent kayaks. They're really just fun. But we don't, he's got a truck, but it's a short bed, so he's gonna have to, and he's got a toolbox in it, so we have to figure out a way for transport. So we're kind of still talking about it and everything, but so that we just keep thinking about stuff we can do together. We have a lot of interests of the same, and then we also do things separately, like how he'll go play golf. He goes and plays pool with his friends every Wednesday night. We do a lot together, but we also do stuff separately too, which I think is really, at least for us and our relationship, works out really, really well. I never do understand that, where people are in relationships where one or the other has to get permission, like their spouse is their parent, to see, like, I don't know if my wife will let me do this or my husband will let me do that. We don't operate that way. And I don't feel like I have to be attached to his hip. I don't know. I trust him. And maybe part of it is we've been together for so long. We were talking about that yesterday. I met him when I was 16 and he was 17. We're 5 months apart. So I was almost 17. We met in high school. The first time I met him, I could not stand him. It was so funny. I don't know. And then we went on a field trip. We were in the same advanced biology class, and we went on a field trip to this place called Mouse Creek out here. And that's when I started realizing he wasn't who I thought he was. He was trying to show off for his friends the first time I met him, and I thought, what a cocky asshole. But that wasn't the real him. So when I started to get to see the real him, because I met him in our junior year of high school. I moved here like in the middle, like in the third quarter of our junior year of high school, and just started to get to know him. Well, then I wrote my phone number down in his yearbook, and then over the summer before our senior year, he ended up calling me and inviting me to a Bon Jovi concert. So that was actually our first date. And when he called, I thought for sure my mom was going to say no. But she didn't. She let me go. And so that was our first date, a Bon Jovi concert. And the rest is history. I mean, I didn't know that day he was going to be the one. It was kind of funny because he smoked, and I told my mom I wasn't going to see him again because I didn't want to be with a smoker, because my grandma, there's been some health issues in the family, that were related to smoking. Ultimately, my grandmother ended up dying. She had cancer more than once. So I didn't want to fall in love with somebody who was a smoker because I didn't want him to die. So, but anyway, before we got married, he had stopped smoking. He hasn't smoked. Well, we're getting ready to be married 25 years. We dated for 7 years. And so, yeah. I'm sitting at a light now. I'm getting close to, got a little ways more to go. I guess I should probably shut up because this is going to be a forever long vlog. I don't know how much I've talked the rest of the week, I guess. And since I don't vlog when I'm shopping with her, that'll cut that part out. And then if all we're going to do is go to Oceans of Fun, maybe it won't be so bad. But anyway, I'm going to shut up for now, and I'll talk to you again soon. Hi guys. I know you can barely see me, but I'm not going to talk a ton. I just wanted to hop on real quick and say I had a nice visit with my friend. It is 12:45 right now, 1:45 in the morning. See, I told you there were marathon visits. And I will be very careful driving home because I am well aware there could be drunk drivers on the road, stuff like that. So I'm always really careful. There's not a whole lot of traffic out when I'm leaving at this time of day or night. And so Ooh, now I just almost completely disappeared. The last time I visited her and I was driving on this road to go to the highway, I saw an owl on the fence, and that was really cool. We talked a ton, like we always do. We went shopping, we went to Beauty Brands. I bought a couple of like boxes of like the sample stuff. I'll try to remember to show you guys tomorrow, because when I get home, seriously, all I'm gonna do is wash my face and then change into pajamas and go to bed. But we went to eat dinner at a place called The Peanut, which she wanted to try, and I like to try new places too. It was kind of like a bar and grill, and I ended up getting a tuna salad sandwich and sweet potato fries, and that was really good. And now I'm disappearing again. Now I'm getting on the highway. And then we shopped a little bit more. And then we ended up going... Usually we stop and get a Starbucks and go back to her house and sit and talk. But today we stopped at Sonic and got root beers and went back to her house and talked. Because it's really super hot today. So anyway, that's it. Just wanted to let you know that I'm done with my visit with my friend, and now I'm headed home, and I'm really tired, so I'm gonna turn the radio on. I'm not tired to where I feel like I'm gonna fall asleep driving, because I don't feel like that. But I'm gonna turn the radio on and drive on home, and I will talk to you again in the morning. This is what I bought when I was out with my friend Charlotte yesterday. We went to Beauty Brands, and they have these boxes that have like a lot of sample things in them. And so I bought this one and this one. And they're $15 a piece. They come with a ton of stuff. And then at Dillard's, I bought this necklace. It was on clearance. It's a Betsey Johnson, and you know I love skulls. And it's like a layered necklace. And look. See the little skulls? And then they have jeweled eyes. And it's like in a rose gold. And I just loved this so much. So, she makes the best skull jewelry in my opinion. I just love her stuff. I just can't afford to buy it when it's full price. So I got this on clearance. So today is Sunday, and I am so tired. I did not get a whole lot of sleep. It was like 2 in the morning by the time I started falling asleep, and then the dog got me up at 7, so I'm sleepy, but I'm getting ready to go down to Target just to get some like soap and deodorant and toilet paper and stuff like that. So I'm not going to take you with me. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up for the week, because I know I talked a lot yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up so I can get it uploading, and I'll start talking to you again tomorrow. So I'll talk to you again soon.